So I'm Mara, and we are going to go over how to do manual lymphatic drainage on yourself when you have leg lymphedema. So we've got myself sitting up. You could be on a bed leaning against a headboard. You could be on a couch leaning against the side. You can lay down flat. You can sit on the edge of the bed, whatever's comfortable for you. But we're going to start the same way we do for arms, which is at the neck. We're going to start at the destination because when you have a traffic jam, you always want to clear folks out of the way before you really get the log jam moving. You got to give them some space. You got to give them somewhere to go. So the neck is right up by the destination. So we've got our collarbone right about here, and we've got this hollow space just above it. So this hollow space is where I'm going to be working on. I take 2 or 3 fingers, the flat part of the fingers. I don't want to use the pokey part. I get the flat of my fingers onto that hollow space above the collarbone, but still on the flat part, not on the side of the neck. And I just kind of massage it towards the center 5 times. And I usually go across as opposed to going on the same side, because on the same side is awkward and uncomfortable. And I do the same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 7 times. It's usually easier without clothes and jewelry in the way, but we're going with what we've got. Next thing we're going to do is deep breathing, deep abdominal breathing. So I'm going to sit back, I'm going to put my hands on my lower belly, and I'm just going to feel it expand and relax. And I want to get as relaxed as I can. Maybe even help it come in. Help bring it in. This is the kind of deep breathing we do when we're trying to put ourselves to sleep or trying to calm down when we're upset. Just that full body, let the belly expand as you fill up your whole body with air. Let it all out. Next up, we're going to do lymph nodes. We've got lymph nodes in our armpits. We've got lymph nodes in our leg. I am going to work with the assumption that I'm treating both of my legs because more of my clients have swelling in both legs than in just one leg, which means I'm going to do both armpits and both groin in order to get started. So I'm going to start by getting something soft and squishy. I could use a foam ball, I can use a rolled up pillowcase, a rolled up bandage, I could use a kitchen towel, something that's soft and has some squish to it, about the size of my fist, or your fist. So we tuck this in to the armpit as deep as it goes, hold it in place with our arm, and we're massaging the inside of our armpit by moving the shoulder around 5 or 7 times. All of these things 5 or 7 times. It's okay if you're not precise. Tuck it in the other armpit, do the same thing. 3, 4, 5. And then we're also going to do the groin. When we're doing that, we're going right at the bikini line in that kind of soft, hollow spot in our inner thigh. So I'm going to tuck this in here, make sure you get your belly out of the way, make sure you get your thigh out of the way. And you can either kind of draw your knee together and up to do some massaging in there. If you're on your back, you can bring your knee all the way up to the chest. If that hurts, you can try bending forward. And if that hurts, you can also just use your hand and kind of massage that spot. And then we do the same thing. Make sure we get all the way deep down into that crease. 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we finally cleared the trunk. We've given the fluid in our legs somewhere to go. So now we start with the legs. And I'm just going to use one leg for example. You can do both legs, you can do one leg, you can pick which leg you do which day. So one thing we can do, one approach, is like a squeegee approach. As if I'm a windshield wiper and I'm squishing fluid across the window, I can be squishing fluid up. And we're bringing that right up to the groin where we cleared things out. Squishing it up, squishing it up, squishing it up, Making sure we're getting behind. And always coming towards that center point. We can clear up behind our knee using that same technique and just squishing, bending the knee. Or if you don't have the flexibility for that, you can just use your hand. Same approach in the calf. You can slide it up, slide it up. Same thing, you can do some of that same work in the foot, bringing it on up. Another technique is called a circular stroke. And the circular stroke is a really useful technique anywhere that you have a lot of swelling, that you have that congestion where the skin feels thicker or more full or heavier. That would be a place where you want to use your circular stroke. So the idea with the circular stroke is that we are moving the skin and then allowing the skin to release. So we're not stroking over the skin the way we just were. Instead, I'm putting my relaxed hand on my skin, moving my relaxed hand and taking the skin with me. Almost as if I traced an invisible line around my hand and I'm keeping my hand inside the lines. I also usually get a little bit of a curve to it, almost like I'm making a triangle. So I go around and up, and then release the pressure. So bring it around, release, and allow the skin to return where it started. Stretch the skin around and up, release, allow it to return. It's really important that when we bring it up, we don't push it back, because it's that act of stretching that is directing the fluid which way we want it to move. And I don't want to confuse the fluid to think it's going this way, no that way, no this way, no that way. We're going this way. Let me get reset. Going this way, reset. And we can do that anywhere that we have congestion or swelling in our legs. You'll notice that some parts of the leg are stretchier skin than other parts. Inside the knee right here tends to be a very stretchy spot. Thighs in general tend to be very stretchy. The front of my shin, barely gonna move. And that's totally normal. This is not meant to be as stretchy a spot. So I just move the skin as far as it goes, as far as it goes, as far as it goes. This is usually really important behind those ankle bones, because that is almost always a heavy swelling spot. We can also do the same technique on the top of the foot or anywhere else that we have a lot of swelling. Usually once you've done this about 5 times, it'll get to the point where it's not so hard, it gets a little softer, the texture changes a little bit. That's how you know you did it right. And then once we've done all that, now we start bringing the fluid back up. So we've cleared out the traffic jam, now we want to move everything along. So I do my whole leg. If it's easier, you can bring your whole foot up like this. Maybe this will be the easier way to be able to get to your foot. I know I'm pretty flexible. Or maybe like this is the easiest way to do it. Whatever way works for you. And then after we've cleared out the whole leg, we're gonna do our groin. You can do the same thing on the other leg if you want to, or you can finish up, get that groin swelling, bringing it together and in, together and in. Same thing over here, or you can use your hand. We can get our armpits. 3, 4, 5. We can get our other armpit, and we'll finish up right above our collarbones, right where we started, with 5 strokes over here. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you did it. Self 5. Take care.